talk.
We have to talk first before. But we're gonna do some talking, and then we're gonna do some playing, and then we're gonna do some talking. Oh my God, dude! I'm about to. All right, this is horrible. Every single time I have some sort of issue, but
So-
that's all right. We'll go to the webcam. So.
Do you know when I was on, we had 45 viewers, Brian. Think we can beat that?
You really have 45 viewers?
Yeah.
How many was it up to?
It was like there were
What
one
were
point
you
there was like
guys
90 people. FIFA. It was
that's
we
why.
played. Well, it was because we were streaming straight from the Xbox, and I had the actual game as opposed to talk show. Oh yeah. So we're gonna do an Instagram photo real quick for myself. I already loaded up Instagram. This is day 321, babe.
That means nothing.
3, 2, 1.
Wow. This is a very good name. This is a very
Just
important.
taking a picture and then you can
What
load
was
it up to
mine?
Instagram. Alright, I'm just taking a picture and you can load it to Instagram.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna load up now because I want to.
Well, then you can do that.
I can do it. Yeah. Everybody say cheese.
Cheese!
All right.
The light kind of glared over your face, Jamal, but you're really not of any importance.
Mom, she's tearing you up. Dickens residence.
Ryan, didn't you know Jamal's taking my last name when we get married?
Oh, yes?
Yeah. You know what my,
I don't know.
do you know what my last name is?
Scooby.
Yeah, it's Skubik residence. Jamal Skubik. Doesn't that sound
Did
great?
Nikki keep Kovac?
She did.
John. Bitch. Is this on the air?
Yeah. This is you better hope no one's tuning in yet. All right. Wait. Why is it like a photo like this?
What do you mean?
It's actual photo. All right. So how do I do this? I have to. Sorry everyone if you're tuning in. There's no one tuning because I didn't even get to tweet it out that we started. Oh, we have some viewers, Beast.
We have viewers
already. Tune in to
Hey, Jimmy. Well,
I don't know. Oh wait, I actually popped it out. I don't know what it is though. Let me see here. Bam. Let's see who could be possibly in here. Oh, hello, Padme.
Cheese.
What's up, your face?
Yeah, bees!
We're starting here in a second. We're just trying to get some stuff in the background rolling. So this is Gaming with Friends. It's Tuesday night, but it's a special time. Normally we start at 10 p.m., but today we're starting for all the early people at 8 p.m. because this guy has a curfew. So Brian, he doesn't know how this show works because his internet. What you have crappy internet, right?
The best I've done recently was 1.5 meg, and I can like barely get you in and out.
All right. So tonight we have this guy that I've met. Typically what we do is we introduce everyone. We have Galvin, who's already been on here, and then we have Scott, who's already been on here. So this is Beast's episode.
Yeah.
So we talk about how we first met. Do you recall when we first met?
Yes, I was friends with Mike Lapika, and recently Dan moved in. Dan, not Blackburn, but the other one.
Dan Grimm.
Grimm, yeah. But Dan Blackburn was in the trailer park. Yeah, okay. But basically, and I remember we met, and basically we saw Dan, and Dan said, "Oh, here's the guy you got to meet, Jamal." And we met up with you, me and Mike, and we just hit it off because you showed us your submission for some Olympic game for the Sega Master System.
That is quite the memory. What he's referring to is when I was younger, I actually wanted to create games for the Sega Master System, so I actually drew out my own game diagram and I sent it into Sega, and they really appreciated like my game idea. So he's talking about it's pretty bad hand drawing, so I suck at drawing.
Brian's still doing that.
But he's still doing it. Yeah, it's like stick figures, but I had like the Olympic Games. It was pretty
How
cool.
old were you?
I was in probably 5th or 6th grade when I moved there. But what I recall about our first meeting was I met, because it was Dan Grimm, you came over to my house. You came in the house, and what you did was you went straight to my refrigerator and you grabbed something out to drink. You never met me before. Like, who does that? Who comes in someone's house.
I think we were just playing baseball earlier in the summer, and we were like real tired.
You weren't playing baseball with me. You
No, I'm playing with Lapika and Dan Rim.
Yeah, and then you guys came over. You just went straight to my refrigerator. Never met me before. Came straight to my house, and you just took out a drink.
Well, I'm not exactly the most athletic type. So I had to get a drink of water. Sorry.
No, that's all right. But that's just funny. That was the first time that we ever met.
Yeah.
So that was pretty sweet. So it's been a long, long road. So many twists and turns with you.
Yeah.
This guy is an ultimate entrepreneur. He has so many different ideas, so many creations, so many different things. A lot of them revolve around gaming. There are so many things that we could talk about. Gavin, what do you think we should talk about first when it comes to gaming with this guy?
Wow. Where to start? Let's talk about how he was introduced to gaming. Like what got you to this point? You know, you're 40 years old now. Where did you start your gaming career?
Basically at home on the ColecoVision.
ColecoVision. Now, probably most of the listeners and viewers here don't know what ColecoVision is.
It was a slightly ahead of Atari 2600 before the NES. Before the big crash that led to the NES.
So the ColecoVision was more like what would be today, like Xbox.
Well,
So like,
it was like the arcade system.
Gotcha.
Basically, Intellivision was the sports system. Atari was like the action system, and Coleco was the arcade system. It took a lot of.
so that's where you got your start in gaming.
Yeah, in ColecoVision. Yeah.
Gotcha. And from what I remember with Jamal, you were good at games, but not great at games.
No.
So your brother and dad used to invite Jamal over to beat games for you guys.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Because they're like, we can't pass this part, so call Jamal over and pass this part.
Yeah, like one of the ones was a cliffhanger for the Sega CD. I remember that one. The one where you have to slow down and dodge real tight.
Based on the movie?
Based on the movie, yeah.
That was actually better. Like
Wait,
the Sega.
Stallone movie?
The Stallone movie.
The Sega Genesis version sucked, but the Sega CD one had like a snowboarding stage, which was really fun. The thing is, like you had your brother. I don't know who implemented this rule. Any games played at your house had to be played on hardest difficulty. Who made that rule?
Steve.
So I have to reach out to Steve and say thank you because you actually made me a better gamer because I was forced to play every game on the hardest difficulty, and your dad would actually call me. It would be like I'd be on a speed dial, but back then we had the rotary phone. Very fast. But
Or you yell out the window down the street. 2 houses down to
4 houses down.
4 houses down. Didn't you used to come over and play like those games, like the Star Wars games for the? What was that? The Super
Superstar?
Nintendo?
Yeah.
Superstar.
Those are extremely
especially
difficult.
Empire Strikes Back on Jedi mode.
Those
Yeah.
are ridiculous.
I had to be the Jedi. I beat those games for your father because you sucked. And I remember one time I wasn't feeling too good, and I still had to come over because your dad was mad at you. Because he wanted to see get further in the game.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're like the Power X champion. You're a big video game name now, so you gotta thank Dad and Steve with me for that.
yeah, one day I will. One day I will. Well, no, I do think that actually contributed to my skill level at the moment now.
Yeah.
So, now we talked about your gaming. You and I used to play Smash TV. We talked about your gaming thing. Now I want to talk about one of your ideas. There's a game company you've been calling a lot of times, and it is Mad Catz, a controller company.
Yeah.
You have one of the greatest controller ideas ever. In your mind, right?
In my mind.
All right. So
Are
explain.
we
to
allowed to talk about this, or are you going to steal any of your ideas?
No, I already submitted it to
It's
them.
patent. You got a patent on it?
No, I don't have a patent on it, but basically, I have a joystick at home, which is the Conformer, which I call gently. Let me show you. Here's a typical joystick. Okay, this is a cheap one I found for the Xbox 360.
It's a WWE stick, right?
Ooh,
WWE.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, that's The Rock.
Yeah. And then And basically the way you play it is with your left hand on the stick and the right hand on the buttons. However, I grew up in the days of the ColecoVision, where in the arcade they always had a joystick in the center and buttons on either side, and I always played with the joystick in the right hand. So there's a couple things you could do. You could cross. You could even be even worse and think opposite. But I was thinking since if you could arrange the buttons so that they're pretty close, so like you see how this is on the right hand?
Yeah.
Well, it's close enough where with a slight adjustment, this kind of arrangement will work in the left hand button too.
Now, couldn't you just instead of doing all this stuff, can't you just play crisscross like back in the day? Crisscross totally crossed out like this.
No, that wasn't comfortable.
Crisscross will make you
Jump.
But I mean, I'm just saying the thing is, the last first party video game system that had a right-handed joystick was the Sega Master System, and even they screwed that up by not having the buttons flippable, because sometimes index and middle is more important than left and right, and other times left and right. Like if you're controlling the goalie with the two buttons while you're controlling your field player with a joystick. To control your goalie, you need left and right. You don't want to reverse it when you're reversing hands.
Now, one of the viewers asked, what is this tape on your controller for?
Oh, the cats like to chew wires.
So this is cat protection.
Cat protection.
Is this a good idea? Does it work?
patent pending.
No.
Cat protection, right?
Yeah, well, like cat likes to floss his teeth with real thin wires. Later we got it where this wasn't necessary, and he always would bite it.
What do you mean floss his teeth?
Well, basically, when he was a kitten, we played a little fishing game where there was a mouse on the floor, and he would always grab the mouse, and then he would run up the string and floss the teeth, and then eventually bite the string. So therefore he thought, and we always praised him. Little did we know he'd start chewing our electronic wires.
Oh man, that's crazy. So we answered your idea, or we answered that question about the tape on the thing. So I'll give you a little information about his conformer stick. What's up, PSO fan?
That's me.
There is his controller looks like a bomb because there's so many different wires, and you have to detach it and whatever. Wasn't it the prototype version of it?
There's a prototype. Yeah, basically the idea was that you could flip it around like this so that you play with the right hand. Now this is not contour. There'd be an extra button here so that the contour works pretty well. See how the contour would work if this button was over here? And this arrangement's pretty close to symmetric along this line. So therefore, in theory, you could just have a 9-button symmetric, put a little farther apart so that it's more comfortable to put your hand out a little bit further, like this.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, close quarter games will probably be
Get close quarters. Is this what a close quarter game is?
yeah,
Play like this?
No, I can't. No. But I'm just saying. But I'm just saying. It's reasonably close, but not uber. But the thing is, it's symmetric at the halfway line. So in theory, you could make an ambidextrous joystick with only 9 buttons, 1 joystick. And now the analog version, the one I make it for myself because it's a lot cheaper, uses RCA wires to connect from here to a standardizer so that you can make north be south, south be north, west be east, east be west, A, B, the buttons appropriately.
Right.
So you make a link from one end to the other, and then after that there's a second plug. It'll be a DB25 where basically you hook up the system you want. So if I want to play Xbox 360, I take out this one wire for the 360 and put in, say, the Xbox One or the Wii U or whatever. But that means I don't have to touch these unless I want to the buttons.
All right. So with all that technical mumbo jumbo, people in that stream would like to know: does it actually make you a better player? Because I know there is a video out there saying that you are the best. One of the best E-Honda players in the world. Why do you say that?
I don't say the best. I never test myself against other E-Honda players. I don't claim that, but some people have. But Honda 1 credit.
Some of these people.
Yeah.
I beat E-Honda 1 credit against a computer. So if that's and that puts me probably in the top 10% of E-Honda players.
Absolutely.
So you beat, what game was it that you beat with 1 credit?
Street Fight. One of the Street Fighter 4s.
So you beat Street Fighter 4 with 1 credit with E-Honda, so that puts you in the top 10% of E-Honda players because of that.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that, don't you?
Absolutely.
I mean, beating a game with 1 credit, people can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to react to a computer is a lot better than reacting to a human because a computer has that cheating factor.
Yeah.
That split second that it feels like it's cheating, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, no other human could beat you. I wish we had Street Fighter 4 to Xbox 360 and we get Narblast in here, and then you could blast Narblast with your E-Honda 100-hand slap, right?
Yeah. Well, that's not the only move, but there's a few others. Yeah.
There's a few other
You
moves.
spam that
You
move.
spam that move, right?
Enough where basically I keep doing it until they find a way to stop it.
That's right.
That's a secret.
You
Keep
don't
on
like
doing
it, stop it. Right,
If
right?
you don't like it, stop it. And then I just change it up whenever they stop it, do a counter, and much hit advantage at the beginning that.
Now, is this a family-friendly stream?
You can, if you have to say something, you can say it.
No. What about one of his greatest ideas of all time?
So we are going to talk about it revolves around Mortal Kombat, right?
Mortal Kombat, yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
So we're done talking about the controller. I mean, we could be going for hours talking to him about so many things, but there's something that Saisiki has had, and it's one of the games that we've always wondered why they just don't take it to another level. So Brian decided he would come up with something that's going to take Mortal Kombat to the next level and explain to the viewers what that is.
Well, you know they have babalities and friendships. Well, I was thinking having something called an FU star K-ality to be polite.
You don't have to be polite. Just
No. My mom might be.
I thought you said there was no internet there.
Well, I don't know how good there is. It might be good there.
FL.
It works. You know what? When you're at home, they turn it to the crappy internet.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
turn
Turn that internet on now, Brian.
But I mean, to be honest, it's a mature game, and you want to call it fuckalities, right?
Yeah.
And how did you perform a fuckality?
By doing forward up crouch kick.
So it made sense. It made perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
So it was. So when you called, what is it?
Midway.
Midway at the time about this. What did they tell you?
Oh,
Some people like-
crouch kick. I just got it. Nice.
Forward up crouch.
FUCK. Forward up crouch kick. This guy, man. Jeez.
He had it thought out perfect, right?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
But
So what did Midway say?
well, some people have really liked it, but when it got to the census, they probably shared it when they said probably the video game companies didn't want to deal with it because there was all these problems with Night Trap and stuff. They didn't want to ratchet up to the next level.
So at that was somewhat political.
Yeah, Night Trap at the
Yes.
time.
At that time it was kind of crazy, but now it's a little bit more open. Do you think if you reapproach this idea, they might actually accept it or think about it?
They might. Well, I mean, the key is to make sure that no one under 18 can activate this and see like ultra sexually violent fatalities.
Brian, aren't you banned from calling Midway?
No.
I thought they said if you call here one more time, they're going to get a restraining order against you.
I never mentioned that again. I called about other reasons.
But if you mention right?
A long time ago.
That window's over with.
That window's open.
Yeah, that's all.
I